Okay, I'm gonna shower and I'm gonna do like, I wanna do overnight braids with no heat and like see how they are later. But here's the thing, I have to do a little bit of heat. Otherwise my roots, like my hair gets greasy so fast. So I'm gonna dry up here a little bit, put some product in it, dry up here a little bit, and then I'm gonna braid them all different widths. Like I'm gonna do some tiny, some loose to add dimension, and then I'll come back to you and show you how it went. All right, I wasn't gonna show you this part, but okay, because I did tell you, I did tell you that I'm gonna blow dry the top parts of my hair before I get started. This is an overnight thing, but I'm literally gonna hang out at my house in the day with my hair braided. Yeah. But I'm gonna get my key things that I usually put in my hair ahead of time. So I use this thing that protects my hair. It's like a heat protectant. It helps with volume. It helps all that jazz. I'll link everything that I'm using below. So anytime I ever make a video, I put a ton of like info in there on what I use, even down to the clothes that I wear. But I go through my hair and put this in. Now I'm gonna take this into my video room here in a little bit. I was just gonna show you this bit and piece real quick. So I'm gonna get this in my hair and then I'm gonna show you what I do. Okay, so I just have to go and get my roots a bit because my hair goes, like, if I don't blow dry at least my roots, my hair is greasy in one day. Like I can go 2 or 3 days without washing my hair if I blow dry, but if I don't blow dry, it is greasy that day, like disgusting. You can see, it's not good. So I just did the roots also to help me get volume because by the time I take out the braids, it's gonna look good. So I'm gonna now braid all of this in bigger sections and smaller sections and all that jazz. And I'm just using these little guys right here to end it off. And you'll see me in a little bit, not in my bathroom, with an actual better video than this.
All right, now we're in my office. Okay, so I braided these little puppies up. So I want you to kind of zoom in and see how I pulled on some pieces. So I took pieces that are smaller, bigger, different size. Some I pulled on, some I didn't pull a lot on. I left the bottom underneath just because that's not gonna really matter. But all of these ones, before I did it, I just pulled them out. So what you do is before you put this elastic in, you just hold on to it, and starting from the bottom, you work your way pulling these pieces more loose, and then it's not gonna be so tight. You'll see that like this one's a little looser. Okay, so we just pulled, when I say we, I had my daughter help me. But so this has been in here for a good long while, like a really good long while. But these are some really good overnight, I think for short hair, this overnight method is awesome. The sock, doing the overnight curls with the socks, if you don't know what that is, there's so many tutorials where people are putting these socks on their hair, but I feel like that one had to be a lot more for long hair. So trying to get that heatless curl through the night, I think this is a really good route to go. I actually did this a little bit ago, but I didn't do as mmany braids, like I did bigger sections. So this is my first time ever trying to get a heatless curl with smaller braids like this. I didn't film that one that I did, but I tried it, and I had just two braids that I kept really tight, and I was really focused on having it hit right down the middle here instead of pulling it too close to my ear, because I didn't want that to have such a straight area right in there. So you can, let's pull this out. Let's see how this goes. I think I'm gonna pin these back. This is truly my first time ever trying it at this level to really try and get those heatless curls. So you saw in the beginning how I put that product in, but this, I swear if I did this even overnight, whoo, yeah, this is gonna be fun. It would really spruce that up a lot more. But I put those products, I will link everything that I used below. I always do, but I will link those babies that I used, those 3 products that I put in my hair before. I will link those in there. So this has been sitting, like I said, I didn't do it at the nighttime, but this is the perfect opportunity to do it at night. Get your shower in and then go and do it. So these have been in for probably 4 hours, somewhere in that realm. So, oh, the other thing I massively recommend, on this underneath part, and that's where you have more virgin hair too, it doesn't have a lot of damage, it's not seen by the sun, so it is a little, it's not as fragile as hair up in here when we're trying not to add heat to it. I recommend having, if that part of your hair is not dry, holy cow, this is gonna be big. If that part of your hair is not like, if it's still really, really damp before you put this in and you do bigger pieces, even when you wake up in the morning, it's still probably gonna be damp hair. So make sure that before you braid the underneath part of your hair, it holds in moisture more because it doesn't have any dye in it. So make sure though it's pretty dry before you start. Not all the way dry, but you know what I mean? Like it can't be as wet because it will never dry. And when you sleep on your back or anything like that, it's just is not gonna pan out good for you. Okay, so I'm gonna go around a little bit more. We'll skip this out on through so you don't have to watch me completely pull, or we can just talk. But have you ever tried anything like this? I did one just a little bit ago. I will link that too. I don't know, somewhere up in here or down below, where you can see that I did the robe wraps. I tested that baby out and that was fun. And I think y'all like it. So we're gonna try another heatless curl method today using braids and rocking these babies for short hair. All right, still going. It's like, what are we willing to do to not add curl or heat to our hair? How much time are we willing to spend? But I will say, I had my daughter help me braid this, and that part was fun because we got to spend a little more time together. And a lot of people, they have girlfriends or sisters or whatever that they can have braid it too. I don't know, maybe your spouse braids hair and is down with it. But it's getting pretty fun. All right, see how it looks here in a sec. Okay. All right, let's see what we got here. Pretty cute. This was 4 hours. So again, not your overnight, but it's the method of the overnight since I didn't get my crap together to get it overnight last night. But, so this one's super curly in the front. This one right here isn't super curly, so I can do one of two things. I can leave it alone. I can part my hair more so over on this side. Like leave it alone as in I don't care. I can part it over here. Or I could take a flat iron, that it's not heatless anymore, and I could just chill out that part. So since this is a heatless curl tutorial, I'm going to part it over to that side. And then I'm going to do a little texture spray. It's so cute, I love it. I will say this though, you know how I said if I don't blow dry my hair completely, it's oily? Blow dry my hair is just what my hair needs. So I'm gonna put a little dry shampoo. Shake that baby up. So why I'm moving this so much is I wanna mess with it until we get that cold filling out of it because it's a dry shampoo. So I'm just messing it with it until I get that cold filling out. I look like a poodle, but a good one. It is poofy, man. We got volume for days. And I'm gonna spray with a hairspray. All right, so there we have it. We got volume for days. We're definitely covered in that category. I think what helped there too is on the underneath side, I tried to get the braid really close to the scalp underneath. And then up here, I didn't care so much because I didn't want to have like nothing and then a tight crimp on the top along here. But underneath, I really did try and get it close to the scalp in just key areas. But we got volume, cute as can be. I absolutely love it. It definitely has, even like I didn't flat iron the ends, but I do have a blunt cut. So I'm gonna show you it at every angle. And we are loaded. And if I did want to part it down the middle, it would be super cute to have it parted down the middle. But again, where the one side wasn't as curly, I parted it over this way. I hope you liked that tutorial. I look like a goober for hours. I even filmed another tutorial that you'll see later on while we were waiting for this little sucker to dry. So I hope you liked this heatless curls tutorial. If you want to see more tutorials of me curling my hair, I even have some just barely that I did. You can check those out. Even ones as far as different wands that you can use in your hair if you are wanting to add heat to your hair. Just remember, when you are doing things that add heat to your hair, try to keep your blow dryer not on the highest heat and try and keep your curling irons. When you start off with a new curling iron or curling wand, start with a lower heat and work your way up to see which heat's best for you and not blasting it at us as hot as it goes. If you want to find more with me besides what's here on this channel, make sure you, of course, subscribe to this channel, but go over to Instagram, Jocelyn.McClellan, and Facebook as well. If you ever want a newsletter from me too, I have a link in my Instagram account where you can subscribe to my newsletter where I give key tips that I don't put anywhere else on social media, and you can find me there in your inbox. All right, have a good day. Take care. We'll see you next time.